what I'm about to say, a lot of people will not agree with.
Bring it. This is what we're here for.
So, answer me a question, yeah?
Yep.
You've been in a relationship for 20 years, right? Are you telling me for 1 minute you're not going to even have 1 inch of a thought to have to go to somebody else? The relationship gets comfortable. The sex gets comfortable. It gets very, very, very routined.
20 years?
I'm just like, that's
20 months? What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, like, as a time zone, 20 years, 20 months, whatever. The longer you're with somebody, the more comfortable you get. You can't honestly sit here and say you're not going to have a desire to chase what you've no longer got.
Like another person?
Yeah.
Of course. Like, yeah. People don't get into relationships and then suddenly they don't find other people attractive. But the point is that you don't do that for the sake of your relationship. You don't chase it and you don't indulge in that for the sake of your relationship.
But 90% of people do.
Are you saying 90% of people cheat?
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Is it that high?
I'd say so. But here's one thing.
I don't disagree with you.
Here's one thing I've always said, right? If you're not going to leave them, let them cheat in peace. Because all... No, it is. This is, honestly, it's true. Do you not think?
That's the best thing.
No,
I've
it is.
ever heard.
Because if
you're not going to leave them, let them cheat in peace.
Because all you're doing
let
is...
them cheat in peace, girl. Come on. Just let the guy cheat
But if you're not going to leave them, and you know they're cheating, why would you cause yourself unnecessary headache and stress when you're literally the person stopping your own pain because you're not leaving? Do you know what I mean?
Because maybe that is a boundary that they agreed upon and the guy or the girl is not fulfilling that boundary.
So then leave, be a big man or be a big lady and say, look, it's not working.
Very true.
But what I'm saying is, if you're not going to leave them, don't cause yourself a headache because they're cheating, because you're the one that's not refusing to leave.
I hear that. However, I do think there needs to be a grace period.
Yeah.
Of giving the person the option who is violating the boundary to change that and then to stay consistent by maintaining that boundary. But if they then don't, then leave. Some people, it's like, I would leave straight away. Some people, like, if they would change or if they would promise, if it was a mistake and they promised to do better, some people will stay to work on it.
But are you not violating your own respect for yourself by thinking that it's like, it's the way they've cheated or blah, whatever. It's kind of down to the fact that your relationship's not working. That's a violation of yourself.
Sure, but so a lot of the time, cheating is a symptom of a problem, not the actual problem.
Do you think?
Oh yeah, it is. Like a lot of the time, like it's literally like you said, like if somebody cheats, it's because there's something wrong with the relationship. A lot of the time. Like if someone's having an affair, a lot of the time it's because there's something wrong with the relationship. That doesn't condone the affair, but them stopping the affair doesn't address the problem from which the affair came from.
Yeah, correct. It just masks it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the same. So it's the same as you can have an issue of you guys, no one's cheating, but you guys aren't having sex. Right?
Yeah.
That could be a symptom of a problem within the relationship.
Yeah.
And just because there's a symptom, well, like I said, like if somebody cheats, you know, they've gone out and done that. Do you know what I mean? There's a level of intention there. But just because there's a symptom, that doesn't mean it's worth throwing the whole thing away, is what I'm saying.
But I feel like the intention was there before the action of cheating was performed.
Oh, it has to be.
It's got to have been there from the beginning. Like, if you've got an issue in your relationship, then that is a product of the environment that your relationship's setting.
Yeah, I think.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree. I think a lot of the time when cheating is a symptom of a problem, that person is running away from the problem. They're going, instead of addressing the problem that we have, I'm going to go indulge myself here because that helps me cope with the problem. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying?
100%.
Now, sometimes, and this can be women, but I do think this applies for men. Sometimes a guy might cheat because he just wants something different. That does happen. I'm not saying it's okay.
No, it does. It really does. Like a lot of my friends are boys. So I will literally, I'm the girl.
That's why you're like 90% of people cheat.
I'm literally the girl that is like, I'm like the girl of the boy group. Do you know what I mean?
So you see what's happening.
So I know the tricks. I get the phone calls. I get the, Becca, just do me a favor and tell me you, I'm at this restaurant and da. Like, I get roped into them. And it's like, yeah, this is fine. And so I know and I see what goes on.
So
it's very hard for me not to understand and evaluate situations when it comes to like relationships and that. And they're like, I'm just doing this. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
I get that. What about your female friends? Do they, in the female friends you have, are they as
active?
Yes.
Let's just say how it is.
Are they active?
They're all as active? They're all as bad as each other.
Really? Damn.
Girls are just as bad. Let's not sugarcoat this. Girls use their looks, their boobs, their short, tiny little mini dresses to their advantage.
Their social media?
Social media. Like literally, it sounds really bad this, but
go for it.
I can walk in a bar and it'd be like, right, do you want a drink? Yeah, no problem.
Of course.
I'm going to use you to my advantage.
Duh, yeah.
And I'm obviously a very, very, very open and honest person when it comes to stuff like this. Like, I don't sugarcoat nothing. I'll say it as if they don't like it, it's not my problem. And girls are 10 times worse.
I think when it comes to the mental and emotional manipulation, I think women are more equipped and they do it more. I think men tend to dominate in the physical realm, but women tend to dominate in the emotional realm.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think you get into a stage in life now where role reversals are taking place.
That's true.
You have got women now that are that narcissistically clever.
Yeah.
The men are at home crying, scared to go out because she ain't coming home at any time because she'll do what she wants.
She'll do what she wants.
And like they're cooking, they're cleaning, and you're in a stage of the world now where women are independent.
Yeah.
They do what they want. They're the breadwinners in a way.
Yeah. Oh, for themselves, they can be, for sure. 100%.
So I think it takes the masculinity away from the relationship of a alpha male response.
I do hear that, but I think money doesn't always represent. Money doesn't always represent who is the more masculine one, because you can have somebody, you can be the guy, maybe you earn more money, but maybe he still takes leadership within the relationship. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand, but I feel like this day and age, it's all about the alpha response of the relationship. Like if a girl's earning more money and the guy is feeding and living off that wage.
Yeah, true.
Then when the girl says jump, the guy's saying how high, because he hasn't got a leg to stand on to say anything other else. Do you know what I mean?
No, I completely agree with you. I think in most circumstances that is the case.
And I think in relationships, you have to date your wage bracket now.
Women don't want to though. Women want to date up though.
Some do, some don't.
Most, if they could choose to, most prefer to date a guy who makes more than them.
Yeah. But I feel like now a lot of women coming into play because they're independent and they're the alpha boss in their world.
Yeah.
Some women like to stay at that level.
Yeah, but then what happens is they then look for a guy who's more of a boss alpha than they are. They're not looking down.
It depends, I think. It depends.
Maybe.
I think it depends on the characteristics of the person.
Yeah.
If you got a toxic person or like a toxic individual,
yeah, that
they want to keep somebody to their level,
yeah,
to keep them there because they want them there. So yes. Do you know what I mean? Same with guys. A guy that's got a lot of money will find a girl that is below level them so they can feed them, so they can control them, like gift them because it makes them feel good. Do you know what I mean?
I do hear you. I'll be honest. I don't think for most guys, I don't think it's like I want to choose a woman who makes less than me so I can control her. It's just that they just choose for different reasons. Like guys, like especially if a guy's got a lot going on, like if he's got a level of success and he's in a financially good place, he doesn't care how much the girl makes because it's like, well, I cover that. Yeah. And plus, let's be honest, guys don't look to women to provide for them more often than not, right? So how much she makes is not a factor. It's more about, am I attracted to her? Is she peaceful? Like, do I like being around her? Yeah. Does she make me, is she nurturing that sense? Is she feminine? If he's masculine, it's like, is she feminine? That's what guys care about. And if he earns more and he can afford to give more, and the masculine is generous to the feminine, so he will do that. Do you know what I mean? And she loves, she likes to receive. The feminine receives, right?
Yeah.
The feminine receives. So that's not saying some guys aren't controlling, but I don't think it's, sometimes we hear, a really successful older guy dates a young girl because he wants to control her. And it's like, nah, men and women just look for different things because she's dating the older guy, right?
Yeah.
It's funny because it's like, if you ask, a young woman a lot of the time, like, do you want to date a guy who's older than you? They're like, yeah. A guy who's more experienced, yeah. A guy who makes more, yeah. A guy who's more intelligent, yeah. A guy who, is stronger than you, yeah. So it's like, okay, so that means for the guy, he's dating someone who's younger than him, weaker than him, dunner than him, poorer than him, like less whatever, in comparison. Now we're just talking about those metrics, those tangible metrics that women look for. But it works both ways. Do you know what I mean? She's dating an older, successful guy, and he's dating a younger woman. In that sense.
Yeah, I think we could go on about like different levels of people.
Yeah.
But there's different dynamics in every situation.
That is true.
There is some girls that go for guys for money because they'd rather cry in a Ferrari than on the bus.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Very true.
And then you've got guys that look for more of an unstable character because it allows them to remain the alpha. There's different situations and different like dynamics in every relationship.
Yeah.
I think you have, and this is what I was saying before, like this is why for me, I like to build foundations. I like to get to know people. Like I don't want to die.
Without going on dates.
It's not that I don't like him. It's anxiety for me.
You feel it's too much pressure?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of pressure.
Right, yeah.
And that's why for me, I like to go down the friend route. Let me get to know you. Let me work out who you are.
Yeah.
Let me find out what you like, what you don't like, what your fears are, what makes you happy, what makes you sad. Like, I'd rather get to know somebody on a less formal level.
Sure.
To be able to then allow myself and my anxiety to go into it, because I go on a date with a guy, pulls up outside me, I'm having a panic attack. He's getting off. Legit, he's going. He's like, I'm not putting up with it. She's on the floor. She's a mess. Do you know what I mean?
So is it more the friendship level is more for them to get to know you?
No, I think
so. If that happens, they're like, oh, I understand.
It works both ways,
right?
Because for me, I feel like you can't just jump in the pool at the deep end with no armbands. You'll drown. Do you know what I mean? So you got to learn to swim. You got to learn to ride a bike.
Yeah, very true.
Especially if it's got somebody that you don't know, or I don't know, someone walks in the bank behind you, going to take you on a date. That type. You don't know this guy from Adam. He could be a serial killer. You don't know anything about him.
True. Or it could be your dream man.
He could, but the dream man will accept your flaws and allow the time to grow, to get to know you.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, if a guy isn't already in your circles, right? So he isn't in an environment where he can get to know you without the element of, hey, let's meet up and hang out. How is he going to have the opportunity to get to know you if a guy approaches you and he's like, hey, I noticed your energy from across the bar. Like, you seem really interesting. I'd love to get to know you. Maybe we can go for a coffee. If you're not open to that, unless he's in your circles, how can any guy even get to know you?
By text.
How's he going to text you without asking for your number?
Giving someone your number is a lot different from going public and sitting in places and having to do the unnecessarily small talk. I can do all that by text. Do you know what I mean? Text me, ask me what my favourite colour is at 3 a.m, no problem. I don't need to go for a coffee for that.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I agree, but then going for a coffee meeting in person, it allows you to get deep, and you say yourself you're a deep thinker.
But I feel like that's like the second step for me. For me personally,
I understand.
Like everybody's different. Like some girls would be like, right, let's go out, let's book a hotel, let's go to Paris. Everyone's different. But for me, because I have really bad anxiety, I have to take things really, really, really slow. And it's all in stages. It's about levels.
I get that.
But from the beginning, no matter who it was, I would always be honest and say, look, I suffer with bad anxiety. I have mental health issues. Like, they're not disturbing issues. Yeah. I'm not going to cut you up at 3 a.m. and like post you into different places. Yeah. You're safe. But how
you're safe.
You're safe.
I'm not going to kill you.
I'm not going to kill you. You're safe. But this is a challenge that if you want to take on, I'm giving you a heads up of it's going to be difficult, because I'm not the type of person that can just pull up outside and go, hey, let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's a boundary I set.
Yes.
So they'd have to be really, really, really like smitten from the beginning to even put up with that. Because let's say guys aren't putting up with that. They're not.
I think it can be a lot for guys or girls.
Yeah.
To kind of take that responsibility on.
Yeah.
I do see what you're saying, but then like, how can a guy be smitten with you if he doesn't know you? Unless he's just smitten with you just by your appearance, in which you probably wouldn't choose him for that anyway. You're like, how are you going to be smitten with me when you don't even know me?
I think there's a difference between being smitten by your appearance and being smitten because I'm wanting my job.
Because of
social media
I
and
see.
a job. Do you know what I mean?
But your job is essentially capitalizing on your appearance, though.
Yeah, but I think people, when it comes to my job, people get lost in the transition of followers and where you've been and job roles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas if somebody's smitten by your appearance, let's say off the street, then it's two completely different worlds. And this is like one of the things that I really, really, really have always struggled with since because my job is so public, is trying to differentiate the two. Like, social media has burnt me a good few times. Like, it's burnt me enough times to know now you don't reply.
As in, from guys on social media?
Like, you don't reply.
Okay.
Like, I'm honestly and open with a lot of things I say. Like, there's not, I've never done it, but I've done it and I've worked out very quickly the dynamics of the situation.
Right.
Like, once they feel like they can like speak about you and I'm with this person and I'm just having a drink with this person.
Oh, I see.
It's the name throwing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then once they've done that, it kind of fizzles out and it's like, hey, you okay? What you doing? And it's like, oh, I'm just busy, and you don't hear from them again.
Right.
Does this make sense?
I see. They're using your name and reputation to make them look good to
boost
the world,
their ego.
to boost their ego to the world, and then once they're done with that, they're like,
that's
cool,
it.
I'm out.
That's it.
I see. Yeah, that's not cool.
So that's why social media and relationships coming in from social media, it doesn't really work unless they're like 10 years in and they're still saying it. That's a bit different. But for me, I am a very reserved character when it comes to any form of relationship, even friendships. Like, I'm very reserved because they'll be your friend in the next minute. They're like, just post that for me. Just share this for me.
Have you had that experience?
A lot of the times.
Wow.
Like, and because I am very, 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 not naive, but
you expect the best from people.
I expect me from them. I know what I'm like.
Right.
And I expect and this is a really big learning curve I've had over the years.
Yeah.
I've expected, because I give 100%, I expect it back.
Yeah.
I give 100% my loyalty, my cards on the table. I want to be your friend. You be my friend.
Yeah.
But then they've got different intentions. So through social media, I've always said my job is a blessing and a curse.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare dressed as a daydream. Let's be fair. Because it comes with the amazing credentials. It comes with the
clout, the appearance.
It comes with everything.
Yeah.
But when you actually sit and look into the background of it, it's so lonely. Because the more reputation and name and brand awareness you get, the more sharks come into the sea.
Yes.
Makes sense?
Yes.
So from a relationship point of view, I have to be guarded. I have to reserve and protect myself because I know, and I've been there before, and it's like, I can't go through that again.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.